Hey guys, I wanted to read an article about John MacArthur. All right, here we go. This is from the Royce Report, reporting the truth, restoring the church. I don't know what, we know things will wax worse and worse. So I don't, this doesn't mean I agree with everything that this website may talk or speak of or whatever, but this particular article, I just want to read, okay? Prominent elder resigns from John MacArthur's church. Okay, by Julie Royce. A prominent elder at John MacArthur's Grace Community Church has resigned, stating in an email leaked to the Royce Report that, quote, his conscience and convictions were not aligned with other GCC or Grace Community Church elders. My dear friends, after much discussion and prayer on Friday, I resigned as an elder of Grace Community Church, unquote, wrote Han Cho, an elder at GCC since 2014. Quote, it has become clear to me that my own conscience and convictions are not aligned with those of many of my other elders, and based on what I myself have taught and advised in the past, I believe that it is appropriate to depart in such cases, unquote. Cho does not explain the source of his disagreement with his fellow elders. The Royce Report reached out to Cho for comment, but he did not respond. However, his resignation comes about a month after the Royce Report published an expose revealing that John MacArthur and GCC shamed and excommunicated a wife for refusing to take back her child-abusing husband. Now, I will have the link to this article in the description box below, and you can read it for yourself, and you can look up these links that are in the article to read further. A follow-up article revealed that MacArthur and GCC continued to shun the wife, Eileen Gray, and support her husband, David Gray, even after David Gray was convicted of sexually molesting and physically abusing children. Let me repeat that for those who support John MacArthur. I'm going to repeat this. A follow-up article revealed that MacArthur and GCC continued to shun the wife, Eileen Gray, and support her husband, David Gray, even after David Gray was convicted of sexually molesting and physically abusing children. Neither MacArthur nor Grace Community Church has responded to the controversy. They also did not immediately respond to requests for comment about Cho's resignation. Cho, a California attorney, has written articles in the past decrying sexual abuse for Pyromaniacs, a blog by Phil Johnson, a GCC elder and executive director of MacArthur's broadcast ministry, Grace to You. Now, like I said, this does not mean that I agree with everything the Royce Report may say or any affiliated links or whatever. I'm just reading you this article because I am totally anti-John MacArthur and anti-anything that he supports, okay? In a February 2019 article entitled Missing the Point on Sexual Abuse, Cho writes that sexual abuse in the Southern Baptist Convention has been exacerbated by the relative lack of oversight and accountability within the SBC. Cho's article commends Al Mohler, president of the Southern Theological Seminary, for apologizing for his support of former Sovereign Grace Ministries president C.J. Mahaney, who was accused of covering up sex abuse. Cho also criticizes controversial Pastor Doug Wilson for calling Mohler's apology gratuitous and unnecessary. Cho noted that Wilson, who was accused of mishandling sex abuse himself, has never, quote, issued a material apology or owned up to a significant mistake in thinking, unquote. The article concludes that both Wilson and Mahaney have, quote, badly missed the point, whether it's their responses to sexual abuse cases, their attitudes and actions towards survivors, or they're doubling down on a continuing strategy of stonewalling and diversion after being called out on it, unquote. In a follow-up article, Cho writes that complementarian churches, those that stress male leadership, should be the safest places for women, quote unquote. The ones under authority are to submit to the one in authority, but the one in authority should be trembling under the weight and responsibility that the word of God places upon those in authority, unquote, he states. Again, I'm not saying that I am agreeing with every single thing that this article may or may not be alluding to. I agree with its stance against John MacArthur, okay? Not only does John MacArthur have a false gospel, he's a wolf, okay? All right. Cho adds, quote, what an opportunity we have to demonstrate a church culture that cherishes, values, and protects women, because the Bible commands us to cherish, value, and protect women. That is my prayer for the Church Universal, and that is how I would strive to serve any church where I might have immense and weighty privilege to help as a servant leader, unquote. Again, personally, I feel like the church is on a downward spiral, and the apostasy, which is just the people that are in the institutionalized church that has been a part of this mustard tree, okay, that is extremely and naturally large, and where the birds of the air lodge in its branches, which are demons and doctrines of demons, okay? I believe the church is just, those of us who truly believe the gospel, we are definitely not destined to wrath or destruction, but those who were in the church but who do not believe the gospel and who actively fight against the gospel, they are going to be cast into a sickbed in the tribulation. That's just all there is to that. In addition to serving as an elder, Cho sometimes preached at GCC. He also pastored a fellowship group, Joe clarifies in his letter that he is not resigning, quote, for any reason of sin or disqualification in my life, as affirmed by numerous fellow elders, my family, and my own heart and conscience, unquote. Cho adds that he was saved through a ministry of GCC, baptized, met his wife, but all but one of his kids were dedicated at GCC. Like I said, if he believes the gospel, if Cho actually has believed the gospel, it's not because of anything John MacArthur was preaching. It was just because of the grace of God in spite of the environment at Grace Community Church. GCC is the only church home I've ever known. Love the people here. Okay, whatever. Cho says he is transferring his membership to another local church and is looking forward to Okay, whatever. Like I said, he needs to get out of the institutionalized church and just, he needs to learn about identification truths, and he just needs to leave the institutionalized church in the dust. But his stance against John MacArthur, I agree with, okay? So I'm going to leave the link to this article in the description box below, and you can check it out for yourself. Again, this does not mean that I agree with everything that is in this article, but I do agree with the calling out John MacArthur and his fellow ilk, his fellow vomiting of just the vomit that he spews. It's vomit. It's rubbish, it's dung, and if he does not repent, meaning metanoia, change his mind and believe the gospel, he's not going to see heaven. All right, guys, be blessed.